Is church important? Is church really helping me or anyone? I feel like if I can talk to God and I can read my Bible, then why can't I just do my thing on my own? Especially if people at church seem kind of fake. Church is about religion, not about a relationship. So I don't think I want to be a part of that. These are questions and statements, I guess, that really started being a part of my Sunday routine almost when I started struggling with depression, especially. I struggled with depression, by the way. I didn't feel a part of a community. I didn't feel welcome. I felt like I had to put on this mask. I felt like everyone around me was fine. They were nice. They were good. But everything felt kind of fake. I have a song that represents this, and I apologize in advance for my singing.
We've got the fire, we've got the matches, take a look around at the sea of maskers.
Oh, that's going on the internet. Okay, but why I like that song is one, it's a little angsty, which I feel a little angsty about this subject. But also the mask analogy, this like masquerade analogy, it speaks to me. But let me just kind of break down my thoughts. One would be, I do want to learn. I want to learn something new about God, about how I interact with Him. And I think that part we do have covered fairly well, at least at the churches that I've gone to. Pastors seem to know what they're talking about as far as I'm concerned. And a lot of the times there is something new to be gleaned. But I don't think I'm alone in thinking that there's something missing from our churches. And that's in this community aspect. It's something that I see a lot in early church, or maybe even that we talk about kind of in church, but I don't feel a part of. Communities that I have felt a part of would be like sports teams, right? You have this, you want to win, and everyone on your team wants to win, and there's camaraderie there, and you work hard together. Other places, I would say in classrooms, either with really good or really bad teachers. And I think you can again see this thread of a common goal. With a really good teacher, usually you actually want to learn. With a really bad teacher, you actually just want to survive. But I think there's a common thread here, right? We have a common goal and we're working through it together. And I just don't feel like we have that in church. Church is something that we show up to. We interact with people a little bit. The thing about a sports team or about a classroom, even a bad one, is that you start where you are, right? And there's an evaluation process for that. And it's okay to be bad. It's not evil, right? It's not... If you show up to calculus class and you don't know calculus, you're not going to be judged for that. That's what's expected. So why are we like that with church? Why are we so judgy about imperfect people coming to church? Why do we feel that way? I think that there's a lack of space for problems, for people to be imperfect, for people to be vulnerable about doubt or about struggles or about, just whatever really bad, like, not everything is good, not everything is fine. And that gets me so mad. And this is why. Because you look at Jesus' ministry, right? And that's everything that Jesus did. He was talking to sinners. He was talking to prostitutes. He was talking to tax collectors. And he was engaging with these people that had tons and tons and tons of problems and making them feel welcome with him, right? Why isn't the modern church like that? Come on. It's like it's everything. It's what the crux of Jesus' ministry is. He didn't come for the sick, but for the healthy, but for the sick, right? So where did the church go wrong? And I can have this slow buildup in my belly that just says, this is wrong. This is infuriating. And then when I think a little bit harder about it, I get this little voice, right? And then I remember that I am part of the church, right? Crap. Okay, all these accusations that I've lobbed at the church, well, maybe, you know that quote about be the change you want to see? That means that instead of just being a catalyst for complaining, that now I have something I have to do, right? I have to bring my authentic self. And that's kind of why I started this channel. But I think it's really hard. Bringing your authentic self, your problems, what if people don't accept you? Maybe they won't, right? What if I do get judged? There's messy, horrible, bad feelings, right? And thoughts, and I don't want to share these things, but someone has to, right? That's the first step towards building this community that I just said that I just accused the church of not having, right? Like, how can I be so accusatory when I'm part of the problem? So here's where I am. My fear, my thing that I don't want to bring into a church building, that I don't want people to see, is my despair. Most mornings, the first thought that pops into my head is that today will not matter. Nothing I do will matter. And that's like a deeply rooted part of my psyche now. Some of that is probably mental illness, but some of it maybe isn't. It's hard to find the line there. But it is... I hate talking about it. Because... Well, I feel alone in my despair. I feel like I'm the only one that feels this way. And even if I know that's not true, it's just... It's really hard to explain. It's like... Up here... I think that God has a plan, and I'm not worried at all, and up here things are good, but in here I have so little faith. My faith is just drowning in despair. Some Bible jokes to lighten the mood after that. Who was the smartest guy in the Bible? Abraham. He knew a lot. Who is the fastest guy in the Bible? Adam. He was first in the human race. Who was the funniest comedian in the Bible? Samson. He brought the house down. So I hope that this made you think. I appreciate you stopping by. I'd love to hear your story. If you've ever felt judged, or if you've ever expressed yourself and it went amazing, I would love to hear that. Remember to hit that like button, subscribe, alerts, and share this with someone else who you think could benefit. Cheers, guys. I'll see you in the next video.